Okay, what are we doing today? Well, it's this little interesting number called the Kirk Sweeney Dominican Republic 12-year-old rum. And it is bottled at 40%, and it is a Spanish-style rum. There's nothing particularly unusual about it, except perhaps the backstory and the shape of the bottle, which are, well, they're interesting at any rate. So the backstory is that it's named after a Prohibition-era schooner, which was captured during Prohibition and then used as a training vessel. It is the property, or at least it was, the property of 35 Maple Street, which in its own turn is owned by a winery of some kind or another. And essentially, it's just a rum that's supposedly aged 12 years at 40%. And it's from the Dominican Republic. It is actually only bottled in the United States, in California. It comes from there are three major distilleries in the Dominican Republic. There's Barceló, there's Bermudez, and there's, what's the other B? There's a third B in there somewhere. But this is from Bermudez. This is where it comes from. Brugal, yeah, that's the third one. Right. The problem with it is that, if you want to call it a problem, some people say it's good, some people say it's indifferent, but a couple of things. First of all is that the provenance has never been conclusively established. Like, over the years, there have been many posts where people have said they can't prove that it's actually 12 years old. There is an 18 and there is a 25. I have the 18 floating around somewhere. This is the 12 that, again, on the back label, it says it's been aged for 12 years in oak casks, but there have been other sources that suggest that it's been aged up to 12 years, which suggests that it's a blend of rums of varying ages, the oldest of which is 12 years. And stuff like that tends to piss people off, because if they can't trust it and where it comes from and what it's done, well, they know it does come from the DR, but if they can't trust how old it is or anything about the blend, and of course it has tested out, I think it was about 10 grams per liter of sugar or something like that. I haven't tested this one, but it did. Then, again, I come back to this business of trust. People seem to think trust is not an important thing, or it really should be just something that you can toss off at a moment's notice as a word. But the truth is that if you lose trust of your audience, then people won't buy it anymore. Or at least your sales will suffer, or at least they won't grow. And, the poster boy for all that shit is Plantation, of course. All right. And that's a part of the issue with what I have with Kirk Sweeney. To this day, it still sells. It's still out there, same onion-shaped bottle and everything. And they do, as I say, have the 12, the 18, and the 25. And, it's a perfectly serviceable entry-level rum of the Spanish style, as far as I'm concerned. There is literally nothing special about it. And I wish it would be better, be stronger, have a little bit more in it, perhaps, a bit more complex if it came down to that. Now, I'm using a big son of a bitching glass for this one. Yeah. Now I remember what this one was all about. So here's the thing. It seems too simple for a 12-year-old, and there's too much vanilla in there. At the end of the day, this is a perfectly serviceable rum for those who aren't asking for too much. You can put it in your glass. You can put a couple of cubes of ice in it. You can drink it neat on the rocks. You can put a mix in it. It won't be a problem for you. It is a rum in that sense. For people who are a bit more exacting in their standards and who want to know a little bit more, your SOL here, guys, you're not going to get that much out of it. There's too much vanilla here. The smells are of caramel, a bit of butterscotch, brown sugar. Molasses is there very, very slightly. You do get a little bit of candy floss, but for the most part, it's that damn vanilla, and it's just too much. And that's why a lot of people seem to think that it has been, in point of fact, it's been doctored with vanillins, right? Although nobody's ever done the definitive test on it. The taste, there's really nothing to distinguish it. It's actually quite sharp. And for me to say that about a 40% rum should tell you everything. It's just tastes younger than 12 years old. I've had lots and lots of 12-year-olds over the years. This isn't one of those that kind of like melds artistry of blending with cask management, really complex spirit, and something that has truly been aged for 12 years. It just seems younger. And whether that's true or not, we've never been able to conclusively establish. It's just been rumors and talk and bullshit all over the place. I'm only telling you this on the basis of what I'm tasting here. It just seems a little bit too rough and ready. If this was a 5-year-old, I'd probably score this at about 84, 85 points. As it is, for what it is, which is to say that You know, it's a 40% rum that purports to be 12 years old. I got to give it 81 at best. That hasn't changed at all from my initial evaluation all those years ago. And that's where it's going to stay. I really don't think it's better than that. So Kirk and Sweeney could do better, but I think they're quite happy with the sales they do get in the United States. Captive market, maybe, who knows? Good distribution, who knows? This would never do serious business in Europe, I don't think. But for those who like the soft stuff, it is the bee's knees. So take it from there. And I'll talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.